Once again, more exciting final report. Fucking madness. And here's where we left off. Brady Cook, man. Brady Cook. So, anyway, let's just get into this. Don't got much to say. So, Brady Cook. On October 9th, approximately 4:15. So, this dude is out for a bit. Detectives Quinteros and Mendoza, don't know if I've heard those names before, conducted an audio recorded interview with Officer Cook at LVMPD headquarters. Okay, he came into LVMPD headquarters. Also present for the interview was LVPPA Representative Hooten. I got a different rep. I don't get that. I don't get that. Below a summary of the interview. I don't fucking get that. October 1st, Officer Cook and his field training officer, Officer Haynes, were on duty. Officer Cook was working his second day of field training. Oh, man. Oof, what a wake up. Officers Cook and Haynes were at Flamingo Circle to conduct foot patrol when they heard of a shooting at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. Officers Cook and Haynes got into their patrol car and responded to the event. While en route, dispatch broadcast an active shooter at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. Wait, isn't that where they're going? They heard of a shooting. Oh, then dispatch heard. They heard from dispatch. How did they hear it the first time? They heard of a shooting at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival, and then they heard of a shooting at the Route. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. Upon arrival, they parked at Las Vegas Boulevard, Mandalay Bay Road near additional patrol units and a prisoner transport van. As they exited their patrol vehicle, they encountered immediate gunfire. Could see rounds impacting the ground around them. Officer Cook took cover as the gunfire continued. He could not see where the gunfire was coming from, but he soon realized the shots were coming from above them. While taking cover, butchered that word. Officer Cook was struck by a bullet in his right arm, causing it to go numb. He verbalized he was shot and could see blood. Officer Haynes grabbed Cook, and they ran northbound along Las Vegas Boulevard, seeking cover behind a patrol car. Officer Haynes addressed Officer Cook's injury while they took cover. They both continued to run northbound, and gunfire continued until they reached another marked patrol unit. Officer Haynes transported Officer Cook to University Medical Center for medical attention. Wow, that's a short fucking statement. It's a short statement. Is that all he said? That's all he had to say? What the fuck? All right, whatever. Man, a few words, I guess. Took him a week to do this, man. I wonder if he's still in the cast or what was going on, if he's still off on leave. It's a short statement for what he went through. All right, October 3rd. So this guy didn't take no time off. Let's see, at approximately 4 o'clock, Detective Leavitt conducted an audio recorded interview with SWAT Officer Hancock at LVMPD headquarters. Also present for the interview was Detective Ubens and the Representative Hooten. Okay, same guy on this one, so that's cool. Below is a summary of the interview. SWAT Officer Hancock. And what's interesting about these is when you have these different representatives looking at different. Well, I guess we'll see when we get to the actual statements, because I'm sure it'll have the reps in those, and we'll see how many of these statements each rep kind of did. Get an idea that certain days what was going on. SWAT Officer Hancock was working his normal duties as a SWAT officer when he received notification of an active shooter and responded to Mandalay Bay. SWAT Officer Hancock donned his tactical equipment and entered the casino, where he met with patrol officers. He heard radio traffic. The shooter was on the 32nd floor. Be another quick one, because we're already here. So he was working his normal duties as a SWAT officer. What is that? What the fuck is that? What does that mean? Um, the fuck does that even mean? Fuck, where was he, man? Because he got there quick. Her radio traffic shooter was on the 32nd floor. SWAT officer Hancock and a strike team composed of patrol and canine officers took the elevator to the 32nd floor. Now, I'm not all up on Levi's shit, but her radio traffic shooter was on 32nd floor. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at the timing on that. But yeah, I guess it's probably accurate. So SWAT officer Hancock and a strike team, composed of patrol canine officers, took the elevator to the 32nd floor where they found multiple officers posted on the floor. Yeah, this does not. I don't know, man. I guess maybe there were some canine officers he went up with, but it seems to me like they're kind of jumping the gun here and talking about later when he actually met up with the canine people. Oh, and there weren't multiple officers posted on the floor. We see that, man. There's just one dipshit on the floor. Oh, okay. On the floor, on the 32nd floor. Jesus, man. I'm out of it. Been out of it for a couple days here. Can't even think straight. Don't know why I'm doing this. He received information the shooter was in the room at the end of the hallway. Due to the long length of the hallway, he decided to take the elevator down 31st floor and approach through the fire exit stairwell. While in the stairwell, he encountered other officers and security who were standing by in the stairwell. He instructed the officers to disable the lights in the stairway to prevent them from being backlit when they opened the door. They pried open the fire exit door, which had been secured shut from the hallway. When the door was open, he observed a room service cart and wires which ran from the cart to a guest room. He believed the cart may be rigged with an IED. Motherfucker's brave, dude. If he's thinks he's staring down a bomb in front of him, he's crawling around that hallway. That's crazy. That's crazy. So let's see. Yeah, there's not too much wrong with that. It just seems like they're jumping around a little bit with that canine stuff. All right. While doing quick stairwell, he encountered officers. Due to the long length of the hallway, he decided to take the elevator down 31st floor and approach through the fire exit stairwell. And then he went back down to the 31st floor, I believe, and went back. Or no. How did this work out? I'm like all screwed up. Man, I can't even think straight. I can't even think straight with this. I'm trying to remember the video where he actually met up with these guys because they walked down that hallway together. And shit. I think they went up to the 32nd floor. Oh, how did that work out? I don't remember, man. I don't remember where they ran into him. I'm gonna have to watch that again. My brain is jellied right now. While in the stairwell, he encountered other officers security who were standing by. But I mean, whatever. He instructed the officers to disable the lights in the stairway to prevent them from being backlit when they opened the door. They pried open the fire exit door, which had been secured shut from the hallway. When the door opened, he observed a room service cart and wires, which ran from the cart to a guest room. Yeah, God, I want to watch that video now again. But he believed the cart may be. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to suffer through that right now because I already watched it on here. And I just have to go back and where he met up with those guys, man. I'm questioning now because I just have this screwed up version of it in my head. And I'm just picturing Hancock in the stairwell of 32, but I'm trying to remember where he met up with them or how they ended up on in front of that door. Anyway, who cares? For now, who cares? While doing quick peek, SWAT officer Hancock saw multiple bullet holes in the door of room 135. He decided to use an explosive breach, which was authorized by SWAT Lieutenant Hudler. When the door to room 135 was breached, he conducted quick peeks and decided to make entry into the room. Once in the room, he located the suspect deceased on the floor with an apparent head wound. He encountered a second closed door to the connecting room and decided to use a charge to breach that door. After the charge was activated, he heard SWAT Officer O'Donnell fire a burst of 3 shots. He spoke with SWAT Officer O'Donnell and realized he did not fire at a threat, but had an unintentional discharge. Yeah. Entry was made into the connecting room, and officers found a broken window and several more weapons in the room. After the room was deemed safe, he turned. Oh, man. Did I just lose connection? I think I just lost connection. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm still talking. But yeah, I lost connection. So give me a sec here, man, to get this thing going up and running. Apparently, I got cell connection, but I don't have. I don't have connection on my laptop here. So that's interesting. I guess we can continue reading this a little bit. Let's see. Entry was made in the connecting room, and officers found a broken window and several more weapons in the room. After the room was deemed safe, he turned the room over to patrol and went to search for any possible additional shooters. I love how they go into great detail on certain things, and then other people, like these cops, they don't go into detail on what they dealt with. Just don't care too much, I guess. Man, why am I not getting a connection here? Yeah, my connection's crap. Let's see. Let's try a different one. See if this clears it up. I don't know. Otherwise, I just cut it short. Do all this again. Maybe I can actually go and look at the video so I know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, this thing ain't coming out. What the fuck? Let's try this. See what happens here. Huh. That's interesting. It's wow. Huh. So yeah, it was StreamYard. That was a StreamYard problem. That's weird. That was a little strange. Okay, on October 3rd, approximately 16:35 hours, Detective Jex. So a couple days after, Detective Jex conducted an audio recorded interview with Officer McZaysay at the LVMPD headquarters. Also present for the interview was Detective Quinteros and the representative Todd. Okay, so we've seen Todd before. Below is a summary of the interview. October 1st, Officer McZaysay received a text message at home which advised of an active shooter at the Mandalay Bay. He responded to South Central Area Command, put his, I think it's South Central, I don't know. I know one of these was kind of screwball. Let me catch up here. There we go. So the tactical gear over his plain clothes and drove to the intersection of Russell Road and Las Vegas Boulevard. He met up with 2 SWAT officers who were gearing up. He ran with SWAT officers to the Mandalay Bay. They heard a radio. What? Intersection of Russell Road and Las Vegas Boulevard. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to look that up right now. He ran with SWAT officers to the Mandalay Bay. They heard a radio broadcast that a shooter was on 32nd floor. They took the elevator up to the foundation room and cleared the area. Okay, this guy came up with O'Donnell. Officer McZaysay and SWAT Officer O'Donnell went down to the 32nd floor. Other officers were already covering down on the hallway to the suspect's door located at the end of the wing. He and SWAT Officer O'Donnell moved forward and made contact with SWAT Officer Hancock at the stairwell near the suspect's door. What? SWAT Officer Hancock placed a charge on the door and breached the door to the suite. He recalled seeing bullet holes through the door to the room and impact damage in the hallway as they approached. Oh, shit. What am I looking at here? And is it me? Is it just my brain is fucking fried from this or what? So he and O'Donnell moved forward, made contact with SWAT officer Hancock at the stairwell near the suspect's door. Did they, though? I mean, am I tripping, dude? Because I thought, man, I don't know, man. All these statements are fucking with my head, man. Because I thought O'Donnell stayed in the hallway till the breach. And at the breach, he went and jammed into the fucking room, hauled ass down the. I mean, I get. Let's see. They did get pretty close. I guess they got kind of close. They were clearing the hallway. And so they did get somewhat close, but not that close. I don't remember what door they stopped in. It's like 117, 119, something like that, I believe they stopped in. So they're halfway down that hallway. So he and SWAT officer O'Donnell moved forward and made contact with SWAT officer Hancock at the stairwell near the suspect's door. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. SWAT officer Hancock placed a charge on the door and breached the door to the suite. He recalled seeing bullet holes through the door to the room and impact damage in the hallway as they approached. Okay. Shit. He met up with two SWAT officers who were gearing up. He ran with the SWAT officers to the Manley Bay. They heard a radio broadcast. The shooter was on the 32nd floor. They took the elevator up to the foundation room, cleared that area. This guy, and SWAT officer O'Donnell went down to the 32nd floor. So I guess they left the other SWAT guy, which, oh my God, I don't even remember if that was Levi or not anymore. So he and SWAT officer O'Donnell moved forward. The other officers were already covering down the hallway to the suspect's door located at the end of the wing. He and SWAT officer O'Donnell moved forward, made contact with SWAT officer. So he's basically saying that these fuckers walked all the way down the hallway, is what this sounds like, before the breach. And that's not true, man. I'm sorry. A lot of this is fucking with my head, but that is not fucking true. That's not true. That's not what happened. Why would this guy say shit like that? I mean, unless he went down, came back up, and was part of that group that was in the stairwell. I don't think O'Donnell was, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I guess it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of shit, but still, that's annoying. Officer McZay followed SWAT officer O'Donnell through the door into the room and cleared it. They moved back into the main room and observed the suspect on the floor with an apparent gunshot wound to the head. There was a rifle, small revolver next to the suspect's body. He observed multiple spent casings, magazines, and rifles throughout the main room. There were two rifles next to the body, really, I guess. Whatever. They moved to the connecting room door. That was locked. SWAT officer Hancock placed another charge on the door, and SWAT officer O'Donnell and Officer McZay stacked up behind him. As the charge was detonated, Officer McZay heard 3 shots from SWAT officer O'Donnell. He believed SWAT officer O'Donnell was firing at his suspect. The shots Officer McZay heard was the unintentional discharge by SWAT officer O'Donnell. As he moved into the room, Officer McZay cleared the room. He observed more rifles and a laptop with wires that ran to a camera on the room service card in the hallway. There was no other suspect located after they cleared both suites. After the room was cleared, he assisted in evacuating the guests from other rooms on the 32nd floor. So this was the other guy that went into 134, I guess. Officer McZay. All right, Newton. It's all the same shit. Just fuck. I don't know. I'm not sure about the O'Donnell story. So screw all about that. I could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. He could have been in that hallway with them, but fuck, I don't know. Or in that stairwell with them, with Hancock. But fuck, I don't know. On October 3rd, O'Donnell's one of those people, man. I always have a hard time. I know we see him in. I mean, unless I'm tripping, dude, he's the guy we see in the hallway talking to Levi on his radio from the hallway with the guy fucking, laying on the floor. But I don't know if he ever made it into that stairwell. I don't think he did. Yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. On October 3rd, approximately 4:20. All right, so did this happen right after this here? 4:35. Okay, so this one happened first. All right. Newton. Why is there a different representative for this one? Why is there a different representative? What the fuck are they doing? They're playing musical chairs here, man. This is weird. October 3rd, approximately 4:20. 4:20 of all times. Detective Keith conducted an audio recorded interview with Officer Newton at LVMPD headquarters. Also present for the interview was Representative Yant. Below is the summary of the interview. October 1st, Officer Newton was informed by Sergeant Bitsko of an active shooter on, I believe that's South Central Area Command. Officer Newton switched his radio to South Central Area Command and heard there was a shooter at the Mandalay Bay. Okay. He informed Bitsko. Okay. He and Sergeant Bitsko made a decision to park and enter the Mandalay Bay near the Shark Reef. When they arrived, Sergeant Bitsko requested additional officers to join them and form an active shooter team. Once the other officers arrived, they entered the casino. They told security to evacuate citizens. While working their way through the casino, they heard a radio update that the shooter was possibly on the 29th floor. They took the elevator to the 29th floor and began clearing hallways. Now, I don't remember hearing that on the radio, but I remember that it was hard to hear anything on that radio with all the commotion in the background and them constantly yelling for people to get out. They continued to move up floor by floor to the 31st floor, where they met with SWAT Officer Hancock at the stairwell leading to the suspect's room on the 32nd floor. They breached and locked the interior stairwell door, and devised a plan to breach the door of the suspect's suite with an explosive that SWAT Officer Hancock had with him. Officer Newton stated he had the ballistic shield and entered the hallway, providing cover for SWAT Officer Hancock applied the explosives. Conjunctions matter. Once the door was breached, he made entry to the suite, where he observed a rifle with a bipod on the floor, a suspect who appeared to have shot himself. They cleared the suite and then encountered a locked door to the connecting room. SWAT Officer Hancock used another explosive charge, breached the door to the connecting room. After the connecting room was cleared, Officer Newton exited the room. Short ass thing. I mean, they just really just hammered through that, man. Hammered through all of these. Okay, here's O'Donnell. Oh, man, O'Donnell. Good old O'Donnell. So October 3rd. Again, October 3rd, man. They hit up all these guys on October 3rd. This one little team here. The SWAT team, I guess. And the dog officers. Let's see. Detective Jex conducted an audio recorded interview with SWAT Officer O'Donnell at LVMPD headquarters. Also present for the interview was Detective Quinteros. Below is a summary of the interview. Officer O'Donnell was assigned to SWAT and was on his regular day off when he received a text from a friend in K9. The text advised of an active shooter at the Mandalay Bay, and due to the source of the information, SWAT Officer O'Donnell immediately went to his SWAT vehicle, which was at his residence, turned on his radio, and began to put on his work uniform and gear. SWAT Officer O'Donnell realized quickly the information on the shooting was accurate and began to head toward the incident. SWAT Officer O'Donnell responded to the Mandalay Bay, where he joined Patrol Officer and another SWAT member as they made entry into the property. The information broadcast over the radio caused him to believe the shooting was on the 32nd floor. However, there were reports from other locations as well. The decision was made to go up to the top floor and work their way down to look for any threats. The group responded to the foundation room, which was located on the top floor of the hotel. They found patrons who did not seem frightened or aware of any incident occurring. When SWAT Officer O'Donnell observed this and heard more information, coming in about 32nd floor, he grabbed a security officer, one patrol officer, and proceeded to the 32nd floor using a service elevator. Where'd the other SWAT guy go? What the fuck you talking? Oh, okay. Uh, Whatever. As they exited the service elevator, he noticed uniformed officers who were focused down one of the hallways. Because I don't think he came in with Levi. I think Levi came in on his own. So I don't know who this other SWAT officer is. Um, the officers briefed SWAT Officer O'Donnell about a security officer who had been shot down the hallway and about the location they believed the threat was. SWAT Officer O'Donnell could not hear any gunfire. SWAT Officer O'Donnell believed they should treat the situation as a barricade unless circumstances change and shooting resumed. SWAT Officer O'Donnell held his position and was informed of SWAT Officer Hancock's location. He learned of SWAT Officer Hancock's plan to breach the door to the suite and make entry. He decided when SWAT Officer Hancock moved into the room, he would quickly, yeah, see, he just proved that McSay a liar right here, because this is what I believe actually did fucking happen. Oh my god, fucking can't get their story straight. When SWAT Officer Hancock breached the doors to room 135, SWAT Officer O'Donnell quickly moved up the hallway and joined the team. As they entered the room, SWAT Officer O'Donnell and Hancock moved in different directions. He could see weapons on the floor and announced that information to the group. Once his area was cleared, he moved into the main room where he observed a male lying on the floor with what he believed to be a gunshot wound to the head. He stated there was a small handgun near the male's head. Everyone saw that handgun. There was a door that led to the connecting room, which team focused their attention on. SWAT Officer Hancock set an explosive breach to make entry into the second room. The team again stacked and prepared to make entry. As the breach occurred, the team began to move. SWAT Officer O'Donnell felt he should change the rate of fire on his rifle to select fire, which puts the gun into a 3-round burst mode. As he made the switch, which takes hand manipulation, take the hand manipulation, whatever. SWAT Officer O'Donnell's hand slipped, which caused the weapon to fire a 3-round burst into the wall. The team continued to move and went into the next room. The fuck, man? How does a SWAT guy misfire? That's crazy, especially with all his little buddies in the room. Once the rooms were cleared, the officers went back and located a wallet with identification that appeared to belong to the deceased person inside the room. The information of the person's identity was relayed to the command post, as well as the information of the rounds that had been unintentionally fired. Officer Michael Deal. All right. October 3rd, approximately 4:40. So, yeah, these were all fucking just hammered out at the same time. Detective Keith conducted. Oh, this audio. That's no, yeah. These will be transcribed. I believe all these are transcribed. I believe we have most of these. Detective Keith conducted an audio recorded interview of Officer Teal at LVMPD headquarters. Also present for the interview was the representative Gramus. Why, dude? Why? I mean, I guess are they doing like multiple people at the same time? Yeah, it's a Detective Keith, so it's a different guy. All right. So it must be working groups here. Officer Teal was working in EAC with Officer Bunitsky. Both officers were on a domestic violence call when they heard an active shooter call was occurring in CCAC Convention Center. Officer Teal heard an officer had been shot and believed the officer was his brother. Officer Teal would learn later that his brother was not one of the officers who was shot. Both Officer Teal and Bunitsky responded to the area of Russell Road and Las Vegas Boulevard. Officer Teal and Bunitsky were teamed up with 4 other officers and a sergeant. The team of officers made their way through the Mandalay Bay and subsequently teamed up with SWAT officer Levi Hancock. The team responded to the 32nd floor, but quickly turned around, went to the 31st floor, and went up the stairwell that was adjacent to the suspect's room. SWAT officer Hancock devised a plan to breach suspect's room. SWAT officer Hancock designated 4 officers to enter the room with him and 3 officers to stay and watch the door. After the breach occurred, Officer Teal exited the stairwell and observed a cart in the hallway with cameras on it. As they stood guard outside the suspect's room, Officer Teal heard a second breach occur inside the room. After the breach, Officer Teal entered the room and made it down a small hallway into the living area. As he entered the small hallway, Officer Teal heard the other officers inside the room state they were code 4. Therefore, Officer Teal did not feel the need to go any further into the room. After the room was cleared, Officers Teal and Bunitsky exited the room and responded to the command post, where they were both assigned other duties. Of course, this seems like all these end pretty abruptly at the breach. They don't talk about what happened, what these guys did after the breach at all. On October 3rd, approximately 12:59 in the afternoon, Detective Penny conducted an audio recorded interview with Officer Tolbert at LVMPD headquarters. No rep for this. No need. Officer Tolbert was operating as a uniformed patrol officer and was in the area of Warm Springs Road and Las Vegas Boulevard. When he heard the active shooter call over the radio, he responded to the Mandalay Bay and parked his vehicle in front of the east side of the street. Officer Tolbert deployed with his shotgun when he heard automatic gunfire and believed the shooting was coming from the Mandalay Bay. He moved to the entrance of the Mandalay Bay when he was joined by other officers and entered the hotel. The group made contact with security, who stated they had possibly two shooters on the 29th and 32nd floor. They could not determine if there was still gunfire and made the decision to take the elevator to the 28th floor and then use the stairwell to access the 29th floor. When they cleared the 29th floor, they realized there was no shooting on that floor and proceeded to the 32nd floor. When he reached the 32nd floor, there were several officers set up on a hallway. They were briefed that the shooting was coming from the end of the hallway. A security officer had been shot, and the stairwell next to the suite was barricaded. Love that. Officer Tolbert joined a group of officers led by a SWAT officer down to the 31st floor, where they made their way back up the stairwell and led them next to the door of the suite. SWAT officer breached one of the stairwell doors that was secured by an L bracket and placed an explosive breaching charge on the suite. With the amount of officers in the stairwell, the decision was made to separate into two groups. One group would make entry into the room, and the rest maintain their position and be used for evacuation and downed officers. Officer Tolbert stayed. Now that's kind of a crazy thing, man. I mean, they're expecting to get shot up. That's fucking nuts. Officer Tolbert stayed with the second group as the first group made entry into the room. Once entry was made into the room, he heard them announce that a suspect was down. As the team entered the room, stated it was clear, the group formed from the hallway began to make their way toward the suite. Officer Tolbert moved into the foyer of the suspect's room. After it had been cleared, as Officer Tolbert was in the foyer, the decision was made to finish clearing the rooms on the 32nd floor. There was information coming in from possible active shooters of other hotels, so a group of officers, including Officer Tolbert, left to redeploy to other locations. Officer Tolbert was stopped by a captain when he arrived at a valet area of the Mandalay Bay to help establish a command post. So it says really interesting that they pretty much cut all these off at that point. They cut everything off immediately after the breach. It's like nothing else that happened that night fucking matters, just that. It's kind of odd. All right. So, investigative responsibilities. Due to the magnitude of the investigation, federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies conducted various aspects of the investigation. Information pertaining to the investigation was gathered by the FBI, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Nevada Gaming Control Board, Henderson Police Department, and various bureaus sections within the LVMPD. The ATF and FBI filed their respective legal processes in federal court. As a result, information gathered from those processes were kept with the respective federal agencies who authored the legal process. Summaries of the information generated are included in this report. The FBI had 95 TDY personnel Not sure what the fuck that even means, but all right. In Las Vegas within 24 hours. Within 48 hours, 150 TDY personnel were assigned. This ultimately grew to 351. FBI personnel took the lead in evidence documentation and collection and provided investigative support. A command post was established at the FBI's Las Vegas field office. All right. All tips or items that needed to be investigated or followed up on were coordinated by the FBI and the LVMPD. These leads were tracked using the Operational Response and Investigative Online Network through the FBI. Huh. All right. All video surveillance collected by investigators from various sources was housed and analyzed by the FBI. All right. The ATF assisted in gathering information related to the firearms owned by Paddock. They provide investigative support by following up on leads provided to law enforcement and conducted interviews. Nevada Gaming Control Board. Nevada Gaming Control Board assisted in gathering information pertaining to Paddock's and Danley's gambling history. Henderson Police Department assisted in identifying victims and witnesses who were transported to various hospitals. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, several bureaus, sections within the LVMPD assisted fit an investigation of 1 October. Homicide section. Detectives of the homicide section responded to and were responsible for the documentation of the Las Vegas Village to include the scene and deceased victims. Detectives completed interviews of LVMPD employees who responded to the Las Vegas Village or the Mandalay Bay during the attack. Detectives completed interviews. So the homicide division did the interviews of LVMPD employees who responded. Oh, of the LVM. Okay. So they did the interviews with the LVMPD, the homicide department. Respond to the Las Vegas Village or the Mandalay Bay. Huh. All right. And then they did they documented the Las Vegas Village area. For some weird ass reason, they didn't do the room. I would think it'd be the op. Well, no, I guess the fit. Yeah, whatever. I mean, if they're short on resources because they can't control an incident this large with the amount of people they had, I guess it would make sense to throw homicide down in the venue and throw the fit team because they're basically looking at a homicide as well. And, this is all one big fucking event. So just to use the idea of the shooting as the accidental discharge as a reason to use the fit team, in that respect, I guess. I mean, there is an argument there. It just doesn't seem, I don't know. Seems kind of weird. Doesn't seem right. Never really did. Downtown area command posts, command patrol investigation section. Investigators with the downtown patrol investigation section conducted follow-up in the downtown Las Vegas area. Investigators interviewed the owners of the various units at the Ogden, which Paddock rented. They located the various video surveillance systems from different properties during the time period. Interviews were conducted with a number of hotel casino employees who had contact with Paddock during his stay in the downtown area. I would like to have that. That's something I'd like to see. What he did, in various hotels, during his stay there, especially like the El Cortez and the D. Whether we're ever going to get it, I doubt it. Special investigation section. Investigators with special investigation section responded to the command post and were directed to respond to Spring Valley Hospital. Investigators interviewed victims, collected and impounded related evidence, and helped secure the hospital. What? All right. Whatever. In the following days, SIS investigators obtained gaming information for Paddock through Nevada Gaming Control Board. The information obtained included gaming history from various hotel casino properties throughout Nevada. All right. I would expect that. CIS investigators with the Criminal Intelligence Section responded to the command post shortly after the incident began. Investigators interviewed hotel casino employees, reviewed video surveillance, reviewed valet and cell park logs. And cell park logs. What? Really? We don't have that. Huh. Yeah, we don't have that. And analyzed cell phone data and lock interrogation logs. All right, CIS guys dealt with that. Counterterrorism section. Wow, holy shit. Investigators with the counterterrorism section responded to the command post of 1 October. They immediately began developing and collecting intelligence on Paddock. Investigators drafted search warrants and court orders, coordinated efforts with other jurisdictions, conducted interviews, and produced situational and investigative updates. Geez. That was a whole lot of words there, man. Kind of got lost in that bullshit. Investigators drafted search warrants and court orders, coordinated efforts with others. Yeah, it's just a bunch of babble. Technical and surveillance squad. Investigators with the technical and surveillance squad responded to the Manly Bay as part of the initial tactical response. Investigators provided a wireless network for access to various systems required to develop, research, and track information. Okay. They coordinated the setup of a radio repeater to provide better radio communications. Investigators served orders for the preservation of social media to aid in the investigation, along with obtaining cellular phone subscriber information to gather information for the investigation. Okay. That makes a little more sense. As the incident transitioned from the tactical phase to the investigative phase, these investigators analyzed cell phone tower information to develop information related to Paddock. Okay, there we go. Cell phone towers. All right. So, yeah, Hunter was right about that. All right. That's cool. They provided technical assistance to various agencies in the analysis of information. Firearms and Narcotics Group. FANG. The fuck? Fucking acronyms. Investigators. That's a stupid acronym. Investigators of the Firearms and Narcotics Group worked in conjunction with the ATF. Investigators drafted and served court orders pertaining to. Now, it seems to me like some of these, this is all redundancy, man. We have this much garbage in our government. I mean, firearms and narcotics. It's like, what the fuck is the ATF? The fuck? Stupid. All right, whatever. Unless this is something local. Investigators of the Firearms Narcotics worked in conjunction with the ATF. Maybe it is. Maybe this is their local thing. Investigators drafted and served court orders pertaining to the investigation, compiled the data learned through those orders. Investigators traced ownership history of the firearms recovered during the investigation. All firearms were traced directly to Paddock, and he was the original purchaser on 48 of the firearms. Of the firearms where Paddock was not the original purchaser, investigators were able to trace the sale of the firearms to Paddock. All right. Counterterrorism Analysis Group and Central Intelligence Unit. Yes. Investigators and analysts with Counterterrorism Analysis Group and the Central Intelligence Unit were tasked with research and analysis of information pertaining to the incident and subsequent investigation. The information compiled was used for briefings. Yeah, pointless. Las Vegas Village. Responsibility for documenting the venue scene was transferred from the LVMPD homicide section to the FBI evidence recovery team on October 2nd at approximately 2:45. So, transferred from the LVMPD homicide section to the FBI evidence recovery on October 2nd. So they didn't do shit. So they had a couple hours. They had a couple hours to run around that place, and then they're just like, okay, yeah, fuck this. Too much for us. FBI could take over. That's fucking crazy. The following scene description. Why'd they even go in there at all? Like, why even bother? Maybe they didn't bother. Maybe they didn't bother at all. Maybe that's at that point, that was when the FBI was ready to take over. Uh, Shit, that's weird. Why even bother? The following scene description of the Las Vegas Village venue was authored by the LVMPD homicide section. Okay, so this is what they came up with, I guess, in their couple hours that they had in there. Route 91 Harvest Music Festival is an open air music event held at the Las Vegas Village area. Yeah, you didn't have to be there to figure that one out. The festival is dimly lit with street lights. Yeah, you didn't have to be there for that. Variable stage lighting and lights from temporary light stands on the perimeter. Yep, could have watched video for that. There was a chain link fence with dark netting surrounding the entire venue. Yeah, okay. On the west perimeter of the venue, there was a decorative concrete block wall between Las Vegas Boulevard South and chain link fence. Okay, yeah. This wall ran nearly the entire length of the west side of the venue. Fucking idiots, man. This is what you came up with? The surface of the venue consisted of black asphalt with defined seating areas covered with artificial grass. Oh my god. Getting a list of talking all this shit. Areas covered with artificial grass, and on both the north, west, and south ends of the venue with vendor areas throughout. Northwest artificial grass area was used for lawn chair seating. The large artificial grass areas on the southern end was surrounded by seating, food vendors, and portable bathrooms. A large seating area with elevated bleachers and covered VIP area was oriented near the southwest corner of the venue. 4 pedestrian gates ran along the west side of the venue. Okay, so they did go in. They went in for a little bit. The Coca-Cola Suites, additional seating areas, vendors, medical tent, and 3 pedestrian gates were located on the east side of the venue. The events command post and television broadcast tent and 1 pedestrian gate were oriented on the north end of the venue. The main stage was oriented on the south side of the venue. The main stage was covered by green roofing, and the sides were covered with black mesh. The main stage viewing area was located in the southern portion of the venue, north of the main stage. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, who cares? And was divided into 2 seating areas by metal pedestrian fencing. The fencing ran from production tent, located in the center of the viewing area, and eventually encompassing the main stage. In addition to the fence separating the east and west side grass areas, the production tent and vendors helped to define the 2 areas. Production vehicles, concert buses, and trailers were oriented south of the main stage. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Location of deceased victims. Total 31 bodies were located, documented, and eventually recovered from the inside of the venue and on the exterior perimeter. Yeah, CC. Yeah, I forget what the fuck that even stands for. Investigators responded and assisted with. Oh, that's the coroner's office, if I remember right. Responded and assisted with LVMPD homicide detectives and crime scene analysts to conduct the preliminary death investigations. Oh, okay. You know what? I bet you what probably happened is these little fuckers went in there at the same time that the coroner went in there. Once coroner was done pulling all the bodies out, they probably bailed and gave it over to the FBI. I'm guessing. Let's see. Um, That's the conduct preliminary death investigations. Each victim was given an individual Clark County coroner's case and seal number. Time of death was determined to be 5:45 in the morning for those recovered from the venue and exterior perimeter. Davis Funeral Home responded and transported the deceased to the coroner for a complete examination. Wonder how much money they got for that shit. They probably got rich off that. So the venue. Oh man, since I'm on this page, let's see. All right, see a little bit of that in some of the videos. So okay, so you know what, I didn't even realize this was on that side, but okay, there we go. There, that's where the majority of people ran. I believe they ran. This was the gate. I believe they ran across here to get out. Looks like no one really got hit in that area. Running out. The fence is right here, so that's the open fence. Yeah, I'm not sure on this side. What side of this thing it's on. Not sure if it's on this side or on this side. What the hell is this right here? What is that? What the fuck am I looking at? Oh, shit. No blood, huh? No blood. No blood. Yeah. And I don't think that is actually blood. Those are too uniform to be anything like that. No blood, right? No blood. Fucking morons. Jesus. And that's not. Definitely not. That's probably not either. Um, but yeah, we got plenty of blood to go around in this one. Some of this stuff, you can see the coloration on this is a little off. I'm guessing that's what that's from. Got little patches here that look like they're a little stained with something. Gets a little crazier. I mean, it could be alcohol as well, but yeah, no blood, right? You can see underneath this is a little bit of red there. Not that, of course, not that, but yeah. Fucking morons. Fucking idiots. I don't think this banner was red. Well, it's possible. Guess that's a little red right there. But yeah, there was. I think that's where the video was that we see. Um, Someone died right here. Of course, I don't think that's who it was. I think this person. I don't know where they ended up. They might have ended up at a hospital. So I've worked my way through all that. Still working on it. But yeah, I'll get there eventually. It's backstage. Backstage. With a little bit of controversy with these trucks and Brian Shields saying it's so weird. They move so weird. Fucking crazy. Let's see. Gate 7. Gate 7. Not sure why they're saying there's a shooting at Gate 7 right here, but there wasn't. Uh, I greatly doubt there was. Um, I don't know. I don't think we saw anybody running away from this gate. I think we actually have some footage around kind of close to this because this is the route that a lot of people ran. I think we see Bill Zarian run this route. It might have been back here too. I don't even know. I think it might have been up this route somewhere. Not sure what that is. Might be some blood right there, man. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. So, yeah, in the parking lot across the street. And is this a church? I believe that's a church right there. So, all right. Just want to look at that real quick. Get an idea here. All right. So, Jack Beaton, Chris Roybal, Lisa Patterson, Adrian Murfitt, Hannah Ehlers. Where'd she? I'm just curious. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then 6, Austin Davis. 7, Stacy Etcheber, Christina Duarte. Which I think I think that's the one we see in the live leaks, right? I don't know. Lisa Romero Munoz, Heather Lorraine Alvarado, Denise Cohen, Kurt Von Tillo, Brendan Lee Stewart, Derek Dean Taylor, Kelsey Brianne Meadows, Jennifer Topaz Irvine, William Wolf Jr., Carly and Crybaum, Lauren Ship. 4 bodies were located and recovered near the medical tent in the northeast portion of the venue. Okay, so they're saying that okay. So is that the medical tent? Because I'm not even sure. I mean, watching those fucking videos, I'm not even sure where the medical tent is. I'm guessing that is a medical tent. And these 4 bodies might have been actually in here or around here, as opposed to being out on the street. Because This makes it look like they're actually out on the street, which I can never find that. But that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. 7 additional victims were located and recovered from the exterior perimeter. Their body positions, locations suggested they had been placed at these locations. Descriptions of their injuries were obtained from, and the photographs taken by an LVMPD crime scene analyst. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. All right, so what we got here? Jordan McIldoon across the street here. Kerry Galvan, um, Doreen Anderson, Nyessa Tonks, Ramirez, Scott Frazier. This one's kind of strange. It's all the way over here, but that makes sense. We heard that from, at least my understanding. Scott Frazier is the one that dipshit Cornhole likes to make fun of, talk shit about. So, this guy got wheelbarrowed out of the event. Not sure where that was. I'm thinking it's over here somewhere. And then got transported to to, I guess, the Luxor. I think it was. Got dropped off the Luxor, and or got wheeled over there. I'm not even sure. Might got wheelbarrowed all the way over there because supposedly we heard a story from Howie, which was his one contribution to this bullshit, that said that somebody he talked to that drove an ambulance said that they picked up a guy in a wheelbarrow, somebody who was deceased that night in a wheelbarrow, and they dropped him off here. And I believe he said they picked him up at the Luxor. So that's the only one that we really kind of have a story behind here. It's Melissa Ramirez. I don't know if I believe the story that's being told out there still. I haven't seen anything to prove that. Tara Ann Rowe. This is a strange one too, man, because this is a long ways. She made it all the way to Tropicana or got dropped off Tropicana. It's possible since I believe all the ambulances were there. They're pushing everyone into Tropicana. Actually, the ambulances were they at Hooters? Well, it's right next. It doesn't matter. So she might have died in an ambulance. Somebody might have dragged her over to an ambulance, and she might have died there. May have video on that. We'll see. Haven't made my way there yet. Haven't gotten that far. But yeah, this is what I'm trying to get through. I'm trying to get through all the deceased victims, and kind of the story behind how that happened. Although that's not something. It's not something I plan on doing videos about and shit like that. I just don't want to do that. We've already seen that. We've already seen people attack people because people come out here and make videos on on the deceased, and then they get attacked because drama. So not going to do that. The remaining victims were transported to various hospitals throughout the greater Las Vegas Valley and pronounced deceased at their respective locations. Investigators responded and assisted the LVMPD crime scene analysts with documentation of decedent's injuries. Each victim was given an individual Clark County coroner's case and seal number. Time of death was determined by the treating physicians. Davison Heights Funeral Home Services transported all victims from the hospital to the coroner for a complete examination. The description of their injuries were obtained from photographs taken by LVMPD crime scene analysts. All right. So Desert Springs, Bailey Schweitzer, Patricia Mestis, Jennifer Parks, Angela Gomez. Spring Valley, Denise Verditis, Cameron Robinson, James Melton. Valley Hospital, Quentin Robbins. Sunrise, Charleston Hartfield, Eric Silva, Teresa Nicole Kimura, Susan Smith, Dana Leanne Gardner, Thomas Day Jr., John Joseph Fippen, Rachel Kathleen Parker, Sandra Casey, Jessica Klimchuk, Andrea Castilla, Carolyn Parsons, Michelle Vo, Rocio Gayen, Christopher Hazencombe, Brett Schwanbeck, and then UMC, Rhonda LeBroke, Austin Cooper Meyer, I think that's Kaya Marie Medic. I think. Not sure exactly how it's pronounced. 36th floor. Oh fuck, fun times. Um, yeah, this makes it look fucking massive. You know, this room's really not that massive. It's not that big. Um, you know, and I mean, this is probably all pretty much to scale, really. But yeah, this room's not that fucking big. Um, honestly, it just isn't. Um, but let's see, what are we looking at? Broken window, broken window. When the curtains are open, they bunch up right here. Um, why he picked that window? Fuck, no clue. No fucking idea. I mean, I guess he didn't want to move this couch right here. He had a desk right here. Um, I guess could have done it over here, but I don't know. There's a TV unit right. What is that over here? I don't know where the TV was. The TV would be over here somewhere because the bed would be right here. And then TV would be up against this wall, I would think. But that's kind of an awkward angle. I'm not even sure. There, yeah, there's a TV on a fucking dresser or something in here, and then over here you got, I say you got a desk right there. So I guess you know he could have used any of these windows really. I don't. Is that in that corner? I don't know. Well, yeah, okay. So here you have the entertainment center. You have a couch here, and then you had all those chairs right here. So there would be a big table right here, and then the little table is right here. Okay, all right, got my bearings. Um, this is a little strange how it's written, but all right. They're 134. Yeah, nothing really there. You got a closet. Um, that's toilet. Um, I don't remember seeing anything here. I'm honestly not sure what this is right here. I don't know what that is because there's a bathtub right here. So I'm not sure what would be on the other side of the bathtub. I don't know. I don't know. The sink would be right here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's on the other side of that bathtub that we're looking at right there. This is the AC vent, the infamous AC vent. Uh, goes probably through the whole damn hotel. Here's another one right here. Um, so there's another one right here that doesn't reach into the room. It looks like it might have something going into the room, but there's one right here as well. Um, I'm guessing, you know, if there's any hanky panky with these things, it was right here. You know, you had the desk right here. You had a drill in the desk. Could have drilled that out real easy. But what he would have jammed down there, I don't know. And they definitely didn't put a person down there. I wouldn't think they would start to smell that after a couple weeks at this point. Um, anyway, scene was located on the 100 wing of 36th floor of Mandalay Bay. The 100 wing consisted of north-south oriented hallway with even number rooms on the east side, and odd number rooms on the west side. The rooms range in numbers from 32101 to 32135. The room 32135 was at the far end of the 100 wing with south facing double entry doors. Room 32134 was at the north end of the 100 wing and was a connecting room to 32135. Room 134 was east of the entry door to room 135 with a single entry door that faced west. A door leading to the foyer room, which led to the stairwell, was at the north end of the hallway, west of the entry to room 135, with a single entry door that faced east. Yeah, okay. Oh, pictures. Pictures. How exciting. Ice and vending machine. So looking down that hallway, man, that's crazy. It's crazy. This shit's fucking nutty. Um, I mean, I'm saying maybe that's what it would look like, like real time, you know, looking down that little last thing. Yeah, wouldn't want to run down that hallway. Fuck that. Let's see, this 32. Yeah, so this is 32. Uh, so yeah, I don't think you see any marks or anything like that. Not in this picture. it's, it's whatever. Um, the hallway consisted of alcoves containing access to 4 rooms. 2 rooms on the east side of the hallway and 2 rooms on the west side of the hallway. Was segmented the segment of the hallway between each alcove. Each alcove had a ceiling-mounted light with 2 light shades, an exterior blue shade, and interior white shade, as well as light sconce on the walls between the doors. Decorative molding was mounted to the walls the entire length of the hallway. There were numerous bullet fragments throughout the hallway floor from the north side of the alcove of rooms 32101 through 32104 to the alcove of rooms 321 through 321 through 5. Uh, all right. Yeah, the same fragments. The bullets didn't land there, though, as far as I know. I'd have to go back and look at that report again. So let's see what we got here. I'm almost about my time limit here. So, fun times, pictures. All right, can't really see much of that room. Got the pillows, I guess. The door's still on the ground. I don't know when this picture was taken, but that door's still there. Still sitting on the floor there. Looks like got some shells landed in the in the ground here. That looks like that's probably nothing. That looks like it's probably a little service access thing. So probably nothing. Probably nothing. Yeah, they don't give us. They decided not to give us anything with actual holes. So I'm guessing this red tag. That's probably a bullet strike. Um, that might be a bullet strike that went through this ding it deal here. Not sure what that is, but I'm guessing that's what the red tags are probably for, evidence markers most likely. But yeah, otherwise we ain't seeing much. There's something red right here, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, other than that, there's one right here. So there's one right there. I wonder if that's what that is. Not really sure. Yeah, not too sure about that. All right. Let's see what else we got. A room service cart containing numerous plates, food items, and silverware. It's on the east side. Damn it, come on. Of the hallway in front of room 134. A black Logitech camera with connected wires was on top of the cart at the south end. The camera was positioned in a south-facing direction down the hallway and taped to a plate. It's taped to the plate, huh? All right. A white camera, because it's weird. What bothers me about this is, I think it's Bitsko said that he, well, in his whatever the fuck we just read, it says that he moved the camera from facing the doorway or whatever the fuck, as he put the plate on top of it. So I don't know if it was taped to the plate, then that's interesting. Taped to the plate, that might have taken a little bit of extra time there. So that might have been one of the reasons for some of the in and out of that room at some point throughout the night. A white camera with connected wires was attached to the lower portion of the cart at the north end. Yeah. The camera was positioned in the south direction down the hallway. Wires from both of the above described cameras ran under the door and into room 32134. Okay. Was it under the door? I thought one kind of went to the side of it a little bit. Cracking the door bullshit. Let's see what we got here. I've never really looked at some of these pictures like this. I never really zoomed in on a lot of these because these hallway ones I never cared too much about. The card, of course, Logitech, whatever. Camera on bottom, I don't fucking know. I don't even know where it's at. Cracking the door. It's cracking the door. What the fuck? Which I think he's right, dude. Because I mean, you can see like the I always said this, man. You can see how small the crack is there between the door and the frame here, and then right here you could see how it's expanded a little bit more. So yeah, it does look like there's actually like this door is fucking busted. Like something's going on here. Like maybe they were, before they decide to cut this fucker out, they decide to try and break it out or something. I don't fucking know. That's crazy. And this thing's here, man. So they already got a guard posted up, most likely on the other side of this door. That's the handle, so they can just open it at any time, get in and out through the stairwell. That might have been their ingress egress. They may have shut the elevator down, so the only way to get in there is through there. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's breach garbage, possible breach garbage. Um, I don't see a lot of damage to this up here, really. Not sure what that is. I think it's just shadow. I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of breach garbage. Um, yeah, there's not much to see there. Really isn't. Yeah, you can see inside here. There's the ice chest. The ice chest still there. Lid's on the ground. Lid flew halfway across the room, but this son of a bitch, it stayed right there, man. It's fucking glued down, that motherfucker. So, not sure what's putting feet on that ice chest, but something's holding it down. Exit sign. That came from up here. Yeah, it came from up here. Wouldn't there be an exit sign there though too? Yeah, not really sure. Not really sure what's going on with that. All right. Now we actually got out of the statements. This is actually kind of interesting, but at least the officer statements, those are fucking retarded. Room 1 through 5 was a hotel suite located at the far north end of the hallway. All right, so why don't I stop there? I think that's a good place to stop in the hallway, and then I'll start working through 135 inside the room on the next one. I don't know, you know, how much of this I really got to go over as far as what has been said, what hasn't been said, but we're also going to have the weapons, stuff like that. Um, yeah. Because saying, yeah, man, these guns are all like different colors and just, I mean, just a mess. I liked all kinds of weird, different stuff. And these lights, I'm always kind of curious whether these lights stay on permanently because I believe they do. These lights aren't very bright. And when I stayed in the room, it had lights very similar to this. And I don't remember seeing a switch that turned them off. I think they just stayed on for probably so you don't trip over yourself in the middle of the night. Yeah, I believe they actually stayed on. Um, you know, but yeah, there's the AC unit, and the heat thing would have been what I believe when they're saying that there was no more heat located in the room. Of course, there's a drill right next to the AC unit. Um, when they're saying the heat located in the room, I believe that would have been. Let's see if we can get there. Scrolling through pictures. See if we can get there. The note that doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't care what anyone says, man. Nobody can explain what that note says. So I believe that's the heat sensor. So when they say that there was no more, heat detected in the room, I believe that's the sensor right there. I believe that's what was doing that. And yeah, sprinklers up here. I'm surprised sprinklers didn't go off. But I believe the what was most likely happening in here. This room probably really started to heat up, at least a couple degrees. Man, it doesn't, it's not going to take much. Let's say he's got it set at 73. It's nice and cool in there. Um, Breaks the window, maybe it bumps it up 74, maybe 75. As he starts shooting these guns, bumps it up to 76, 77. And when they go back later on the evidence, they realize that, well, went from 77 down to back down to 75 or whatever. I'm guessing. If they looked at it that night, I mean, it could have went up. It could have jumped up like 3 degrees. That doesn't really take much, right? And you're shooting all these fucking guns out of this room. It's probably going to heat up, especially if you're shooting them within the room which they said he's standing 5 feet back from the window in one of the reports, which I kind of believe would be true. Um, let's see if we have another picture here where we can actually kind of get an idea here. All right, so right about where you stand, and that's probably only about 2 feet away from the window, maybe 2.5, 3 feet. So he could have been firing from right here. And if he was firing from right there, all that heat is going into the room. It's not going out the window. It's all going to stay in here. It's going to heat up that room a little bit. So, you know, just my idea there as far as that goes. But yeah, I think as far as this goes, I think I'm pretty much done with this for now. Um, Try and get back to the rest of this tomorrow. I want to burn through this report, dude. This has like been a long journey just trying to get through this fucking report, and I really don't want to be doing this report anymore. Anyways, that's it for this. Stay safe out there. The world ain't getting any better anytime soon.